Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the latest film interviews, features, and recommendations on the movies that matter. Sujoy Ghosh, good to see you. How are you doing in these times? How are you doing in these times?
I am doing nothing these times. We're just sitting in the house, doing nothing, trying to make something out of it, but nothing's coming out of it.
Sujoy, it's interesting because you were actually on set. You were shooting Bob, which is your spin-off Bob Biswas film. Bob Biswas, of course, was the incredible contract killer come insurance salesman in Kahaani. You're making the spin-off film. You're producing that film. Your daughter, Dia, is directing that film. Weren't you on set in Kolkata shooting that film when lockdown was announced?
Yeah. So we were there shooting. We had about 10 days to go. And then the guild and the union said that, there's a certain date beyond which you couldn't shoot. And I think that was a great decision. We had to stop because given what was happening around us, there was no way we could control or ensure safety after a certain point of time. So, it was also getting a little mentally unsure. So we decided we will stop the shoot and we will get back as and when, we are allowed to or it becomes safer. So, from that whole hustle bustle, suddenly, poof, nothing.
True, yeah. What I want to ask you, Sujoy, is, and I've spoken to other filmmakers also who were on set when suddenly they had to halt. What are your concerns? What are a filmmaker's concerns when something like that happens and when there is this uncertainty because you don't know now when you will pick up? You said you have about 10 days shoot still left. What are one's immediate concerns when something like that happens?
See, there are a lot of concerns, Rajiv, but the main thing is we are all in the same boat. There's nobody else any different to me. We are all in this together. So it's almost like, the time's just going to stop here and we're all going to pick up the threads from whenever we start. I mean, there is certain worries about, money and blah, blah, blah. But that's standard and you can't really avoid that. But the more bigger issue is when we go back to set, how do we ensure safety? How do we ensure hygiene? How do we ensure the discipline that we have inculcated now? And I'm hoping whatever discipline we are learning now in terms of hygiene, in terms of social distancing and not to sneeze into each other's space, we maintain that.
Also, I would imagine things like continuity, consistency.
Yeah, but that's quite okay. It's not really that big a problem because we are used to doing shoots in schedule. You're very lucky when you get a film in a single sked. Normally, a film can go into a few sked, and every time you start a new sked, with or without COVID, you have to ensure that continuity. You have to ensure that whatever those other ajubaju ka saman hai. So that's okay. That's part and parcel of filmmaking. But my bigger worry is, I have a 200 strong unit. I have to ensure the safety of all those people. And it's just not the set because the hotel you're staying in, the cars you're traveling in, the flight you're going in. So it's going to be fun when it opens up.
Right. Sujoy, I want to ask, we talk about, when one talks about you, when one thinks of you, one sort of associates you with the thrillers, with Kahaani 2, Badla, Teen, which you produced. I have to jog my memory back to your first film, which actually was this sweet, sort of, warm and fuzzy romantic comedy. You made Jhankaar Beats in 2003, 17 years ago. And the reason I'm bringing up that film, because, at this moment, we're looking for any sort of entertainment that is uplifting, right? While we're in lockdown, while we're trapped indoors, we're looking, and I was revisiting the music of Jhankaar Beats recently, and it's just so wonderful. You are, of course, an R.D. Burman fan, and the music of Jhankaar Beats was inspired by R.D. music, which, of course, Vishal-Shekhar created. Have you been listening? Is R.D.'s music or is music one of your outlets, one of the things that's keeping you engaged while we're stuck indoors and in these gloomy times?
I mean, you have no idea on how, because my daughter is a big fanatic and she keeps listening to R.D. Burman's music. So my house is always blaring, which I love because that's one of the reasons I made Jhankaar, because the whole purpose of Jhankaar was the music of R.D. Burman, which makes me happy. So I wanted something which would make people happy. We're not talking about R.D. Burman here. We are just talking about his work and the influence of his work on us. I mean, for me,
Right.
it's, whenever I listen to his music, I feel very happy. I feel uplifted, in your words. And so that's what I wanted to show in that film, and you should know
Yeah.
that how his music makes people happy, solves their problem. So and yes, the music is on, yeah, all the time.
Right. I thought what we could do, if you're game for it, is bring in maybe your composer. Let's bring in Vishal Dadlani, who's one of the composers, who with you created this music. Maybe we can talk to him as well and bring him into the chat.
Yeah. On an April Fool's Day, yes. I mean, you
Right.
should.
No, let's try. You're right. It is April's Fool, but
It is
let's
April
see.
Fool's Day, and this is their day, and we should. Yeah. We should.
Okay,
cheer them,
I'm
yeah.
gonna give
Get
it a
some food
shot.
on.
Let's see if we can get him on. Okay, we're dialing him. I'm not sure he's in town. I've been seeing his Instagram feed, and it feels like he's not. He's not in the city. But let's. Oh, okay. Looks like. Oh, there we have him.
Go, Vishal.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hello.
It is
Wait,
very scary.
There we go. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can
Yo.
see you. We can hear you. How are you, Vishal? Are you in? I've been looking at your Instagram feed. Are you in Mumbai? Are you in the city?
I'm not in the city. I'm 2 hours outside the city. I got stuck here in the lockdown and I decided not to violate it. So I've just been here for 15 days now.
Okay. Before you got on, Vishal, we were talking about Jhankaar beats and the music of Jhankaar beats and how uplifting that was, and the fact that it was all a sort of tribute from all of you all to R.D. Burman. Do you have memories of making that music? And it was the first time that you and Shekhar worked with Sujoy. What are your memories of making the music of Jhankaar beats?
Sujoy made the music. We made the film. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get the facts extremely correct. I made
Correct.
the music. They made the film.
Right.
Yeah.
Vishal,
Yeah,
what are
no,
your
I'm-
memories?
the truth of the matter is the first time I met Sujoy, you were there. You
Yeah.
introduced us.
Right.
Yeah.
So the world needs to know this. I keep saying it. You keep denying it because you don't
You're
want to
putting
accept
the
it.
blame squarely on me. Yeah.
Rajeev is the sole blame to be.
Right.
Him. I'm pointing in the right direction. Ajit. Right, anyways, so- When we met him, it was 1999, and the film actually came out 2003. So for 4 years, we didn't know whether this guy was actually going to make a film or not. Right? But we were making music out of love. It was a labor of love. We were enjoying making those songs every single day. No idea whether it would ever show up. No idea, and because we weren't particularly busy or anything at all either. So it was like for us, it was an exercise. We learned a lot about Panchamda. We learned a lot about Sujoy, sadly, and we learned a lot about each other during the course of making the music of Jhankaar. So for us, that was, the big deal was the fact that we discovered ourselves as musicians during the making of the music.
Right.
And Rajeev,
Uh-huh.
Vishal wrote me a song called Tera Muskurana.
Uh-huh.
And he sang it, and he made a CD of it, those CD. And I still remember, I used to go down to everybody's office, whoever had money. I used to have a script, and I have a song. And I used to play them Tera Muskurana, for which they used to get very inspired. It's, it's damn good music. Let me read the script. And they used to read the script and said, what a shit script. And I used to come back.
So they were happy to buy the music. They just didn't want to make the movie.
Yeah, man. Fuck. Yeah, and we did that for how many? 3 years, Vishal?
For whatever it's worth. So the thing is, okay, so when the album was done, we actually went to all the major record labels, right? And we couldn't get anyone to buy. We couldn't get anyone to say, hey, I'm going to back this, right?
No.
And I remember when it came out, this film had a very unique thing. So when the music came out actually on the 31st of December 2002. The film came out 20th of June 2003.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Which is
like 6 months.
6 months. There was no promo. There was none of that stuff. But the song it would play once a day, then 4 times a day. Then they started to play 10 times a day. Then people just started asking for it. It was like, it just grew on its own because of Tu Aashiqui Hai,
Right. Gone are those days, right, Vishal? Gone are those days when you could actually have music sort of growing organically. Today you have the music labels pushing and buying YouTube views, and it really, I don't know how much of it is. It feels like a lot of the music actually, begins to grow on people after they've watched the film or seen the video. I feel like those days people were actually had time to allow it to take over and become fans, if you like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a whole different world right now. With the, I mean, we never had a number point reference to know whether people are digging a song or enjoying it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just not there. You made a song and then you knew people loved it if you heard them singing it, or if they told you, or if you drove by and their car was playing the song, then you knew, okay, they love the song. Which is how it went for us. We didn't have any of these benchmarks. Honestly, I'm quite okay with the way it is now, but you're right that when people are allowed to find the song in their own space and time, they tend to live with it longer.
Right. I think that's one of the reasons why the music of Jhankaar Beats, even today, and to be honest, the film as well, it still feels, it has this sort of enduring quality. I think that it's one of those albums that you hear a song and you hear a strain and it kind of brings a smile, because it feels like that's something that you've kind of, grown with or lived with for a while. It feels like something that's very personal.
I mean, but Shekhar and I had the strangest experience, I got to tell you. We were playing a college in Andheri. Okay, we very rarely play shows in Bombay. Usually they're out of town. We were playing this college in Andheri, and we were on stage, and we finished the show. The show was done, and somebody said "Tu Ashiki," right? Someone in the audience screamed for "Tu Ashiki," and these are all, they may have been 18, 19, whatever. So Shekhar and I just sang the first line, right? And the crowd, the entire crowd, sang the whole song. You're talking about maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. You're 15 years after the film is made, or 13, 14 years after. And we were like, man, how old were you when this even came out? They knew every single. Shekhar and I were just standing on stage and we had tears in our eyes. It was insane.
Yeah. Now, we've never tried this, but I feel like what would be really cool, and should I, weigh in and use your influence to convince him, is to give us the song. I mean, give us a song live. I mean, do it for us. It's one of those songs I think that will uplift moods. I feel like people will really enjoy it if you were to sort of sing it for us.
But would you not?
I just feel like, I mean, we can't not have Shekhar on this when we do this.
Okay. Actually, that's fair. Should we give it a shot? Should I try to add him onto this call?
Yeah, get Gungunani.
Okay, I've never had more than 2 guests, so this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try to bring Shekhar on.
Come on, then. Although we could make Sujoy sing it as well.
We could make Sujoy sing. I think not. Oh, I think we may have some luck. I think we may be in luck.
Come on.
Hello.
Oh, there we have him. Oh, okay.
Gungunani.
Oh, this is incredible. So Shekhar,
why do you have Sujoy Ghosh out there?
Well, he did make the film apparently.
No, we made the film. You
made the film. Right. Shekhar, before you came on, Shekhar, we were talking about the music of Jhankaar Beats and how it still has this enduring quality. And Vishal was talking about a time at a concert when you all just sang one line and the crowd just sort of kind of took it from there and made it their own. But wasn't this also, to both of you, Vishal-Shekhar, wasn't this also the song that in fact won you all the R.D. Burman Award, the R.D. Burman Filmfare Award?
Yes,
the music did. Actually of this film?
Yeah, absolutely. For the Filmfare R.D. Burman Award was, I think, for Jhankaar Beats was given to us. And then I think we owe it all to Sujoy, the man who actually believed in us and came to us and, fried our brains.
Just spending cash.
But Sujoy, do you think we can persuade them to do this? Vishal said bring Shekhar and then maybe they'll do the song.
Sing the song for you, which we will. I just want to say that today being the first of the year, Sujoy Ghosh has tweeted obviously to commemorate Vishal and Shekhar on the 1st of April, saying, I have gone through a lot of hard times in my life because of their foolishness. Am I right, Sujoy Ghosh?
Yeah, man. I tell you, man, the shit I've gone through because of these two, it's in I can't swear.
Sujoy, I want to know what hurdles have you crossed?
Huh?
What hurdles?
Okay, we'll leave the personal grievances for a private call. Just entertain us. Just give us. I mean, that's a song I think that'll uplift moods at a time like this. We've never tried to do this before. We've never done. We've never done two artists in two different parts. Shekhar, I know you're in your home in Bandra, and Vishal says he's 2 hours outside of Mumbai at his farmhouse.
Right.
And you're going to do this for us together. I can't wait. I hope hopefully technology will hold up, and we're going to take a shot at this.
Yeah,
Come on.
Gao, bete, gao, gao, gao.
तू है आसमां में
तेरी ये ज़मीं है
तू जो है तो सब कुछ है
ना कोई कमी है
तू ही दिल है
तू ही जान भी है
तू खुशी है
आसरा भी है
तेरी चाहत
जिंदगी है
तू मोहब्बत
Come on, Sujoy. तू
तू
आशिकी
आशिकी है.
Oh my God.
That's the best I could do, bro. I mean, this is my.
But that was superb. That was really great. Thank you. I want to ask all three of you actually, what do you think it is about some songs that really stand the test of time and that really have this sort of enduring quality? What do you think it is about, about some music that works in that way, and some that are great hits in the moment, but don't necessarily have that, that longevity, that sort of, that enduring quality?
For me, the fact that some songs last longer than others is defined, especially today when you have thousands of songs coming out a year.
Yeah.
It's defined today by how much a song is able to make its own space in terms of, not just in terms of the way it looks on screen, but in terms of the way it sounds, in terms of the lyrics, in terms of the honesty of the music, and in terms of the sort of the intention of the people who go behind that song to do something new and fresh and current and attached to the time.
Right. Shekhar, do you have a different view on this?
I think it's all about being honest and real to the whole film, the situation, and especially Sujoy, the way we were all making the songs of Jhankaar beats. I think it just, every single song was just happening on its own, man. It was a whole organic process, like musicians coming in and knowing exactly what they should be doing on a song. So everything was happening on its own. Songs were getting done on their own. Like whether it was like Tu Aashiki Hai, Suno Na, or whether it was Jab Kabhi. Everything was so organic, man. The way we all sat together and kind of every single song, the way it came up, there was no real effort. It was just flowing. So it was amazing.
So, Joy, did you have a brief for them? Did you say make music that's going to last? I mean, how did you guys, what was the brief?
Well, I had only one brief for them. I think that was more for Vishal, because I wanted a song which you could sing to God and you could sing to somebody you love.
Right.
And I wanted my live drums, which Vishal, the horrible Dadlani, never gave me. Ready? Kurt ka beta Karl, he did so much good live drumming, and Vishal didn't allow me to keep that drumming. I will never forgive him for that.
Wait. Shekhar, back me up on this. Sujoy's brief for all the songs was, I want that.
Yeah.
Someone who actually gels his hair like a porcupine and wears a suit and comes to the studio, don't really take that person seriously.
But he wore a suit and came to the studio.
Rajeev,
and he said,
and he also
said, Rajeev, he also said, do this.
Yeah.
How can
Rajeev,
you
wasn't it good?
Sorry?
The way the drums come in and Tu Aashiki Hai, isn't it good? Isn't it fun? The way the drums come in.
Very good, but I would imagine that's a limiting brief. That's a hard brief. I mean, I'm glad I'm not a composer.
Listen, I'm sorry. Can I also, since we're talking about briefs from Sujoy Ghosh, can I also give you, so we had 5 songs on a film called Kahaani.
Right.
And for each of the 5 songs, we had this exact brief. Hey, she's pregnant and she is searching for her husband. All the songs, same brief.
That's the movie.
So,
but that's the freaking movie.
No, no, no.
Actually, Kahaani had really good music. I know it didn't have sort of songs on the surface, but it had some wonderful.
No.
And again, a change of pace for you guys, right? I mean, a very different kind of music from y'all.
Yeah, but not because they're here, but I think personally, I think Kahaani is one of the most amazing album they both created for me. That's by far my best. By far my best. I think it's better than Jhankaar also.
Yeah, but I wish you had a song in the film.
Right. Well, you had Ekla Chalo Re, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
No, Rajeev, there's a song called Suno Na in Jhankaar Beats.
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
Now, the amount of love which went behind making that song, and till date, whether it's us on stage or Shan on stage, the amount of love is insane for that song. Sujoy, the way he shot that song is Shan Munshi, Riya crossing the road. Suno na, it's over. It's over. You're watching the film and suddenly the song is gone.
That's all I have.
Bhelpuri wala. She's singing Bhelpuri of that chart. That's it. So no, it's over.
But that was good. Yeah. No. But Rajeev, with all honesty, I think Jhankaar, you're talking about the music of Jhankaar. I think anything which is addictive has an emotion attached to it.
Right.
Otherwise, nothing is addictive unless you identify with an emotion.
Correct.
I think anybody I know who likes the music of Jhankaar likes it because it makes them happy.
Yeah.
You feel good about hearing it.
Right.
And I think the whole credit goes to these two and Vishal for writing each and every song. Nobody knows this, but he wrote all the songs, man. All the songs. And Gungunani here.
The truth of the matter is we didn't do any lyricists at the time, right?
Yeah.
We didn't, so there's no choice. It was just like I was writing the song, like, okay, this is the song, I guess. It's like that. It's not like I know how to write. Just
Okay, before we go, I want to ask each of you, because we're talking about music. I've been asking every filmmaker that I'm talking to, every actor that I'm talking to, give us one movie recommendation. But with y'all, I want to ask you, give us one music recommendation. What's a great album to be listening to now in these times when there's uncertainty, when it's a bit gloomy? What is the best music to be listening to now? What would you recommend? I want each of you to give us a recommendation.
I've been listening to a band called the Alabama Shakes. Kind of bluesy and real vibe. It makes me very happy. I don't know if it'll work for everybody like that. But the blues tend not to make people happy, but they make me very happy. So I really enjoy it. And in a time, it talks about very dark things as well. So I just feel like it's very relevant to the time. So, and the thing is, when I need joy, I always go back to stuff that, that I grew up with. So whether it's Panchamda or whether it's, Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd, these are my instant
go-to guys. Yeah. Okay, Shekhar, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Jack Johnson and a little more acoustic, happy music because in a situation like this, you just want some nice summer, happy music to be playing behind and just kind of getting the mood right. Family's here. I'm at home with the family, doing a lot of cooking, spending a lot of time with them, reading, writing. So it's a lot of fun hanging out with them. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Cooking.
Okay. Sujoy, you want to give us a recommendation?
Anything sung by Kishore Kumar should do it.
Yeah, I hear you. That is a great recommendation. That is true. Yeah. Anything by Kishore Kumar is an instant mood changer, right?
Yeah, man. Is that voice?
It is that voice. But gentlemen, thank you so much. This was so much fun. I was so nervous about it. Now technology is going to be hard. I know that this isn't the ideal way to do a track, but I really appreciate that you all did it for this chat. It's a lovely song. It's a great album, and I was listening to it recently, and it really puts it instantly lifts the mood. I want to recommend it to every single person. Just try it. Listen to the music of Jhankaar Beats. It puts you in a good mood immediately. Thank you, Vishal. Yeah. Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you, Sujoy Ghosh.
Thank you.
The next time we meet will be in person, not like this. When these times pass, when we're back to our normal lives, we shall meet in person, and I can't wait to hear what next you guys do together. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.